I'm Donald Austin. I'm a director with One Pacific based in Hong Kong, and welcome to the Automation Excellence in E-commerce. We're going to spend a few minutes talking with Jim Tornqvist today from WobbleWorks. So he's a client of ours, and they have an award-winning product called the 3Doodler, which is a 3D pen, which is actually just an amazing tool. So Jim, tell us a little bit about the company and then the product and how it came to be.
WobbleWorks, the company behind the 3Doodler, started really about a decade ago as a toy invention company. But one day in the lab, one of the 3D printers actually broke down. And one of the founders, Max, he actually pulled out the nozzle and thought to himself, why don't we make this little nozzle into something handheld instead of a big machine that prints? That then became the first version of the 3Doodler. We've broken ground in various other areas like biodegradable plastic and things like that. We have more on the horizon coming. Can't tell you about that yet, but you'll no doubt know within the next 12 months.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you sell the product? How do you sell the 3Doodler, and is e-commerce a big part of that?
E-commerce is obviously a huge part of it. We sell traditionally, like most other companies, retail, wholesale, website, Amazon, etc. I would say the website is the fastest growing area of our company. It currently represents over 10% of total company sales. So we've seen huge growth during the pandemic, and I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon.
What are some of the challenges you guys see with e-commerce right now?
Well, the interesting thing about the pandemic is I think it's gotten a lot more people thinking about remote buying. And home deliveries are a huge part of that, obviously. That has translated directly into growth, but with the growth, we've seen quite a number of new challenges. We use Shopify for our website, and obviously, which we'll get to later, Workato is kind of in the middle of that. And we've seen a growing list of solutions that we need to provide to customers within that, whether that is order taking, fulfillment, payments, refunds, etc. There's so many different scenarios within each of those buckets that we need to figure out. Everyone has their own standards, right? And if you look at, for example, the US market, which is our biggest market, the standard is set by Amazon. Right? With e-commerce, everyone's expecting to get Amazon level service. We have to find a middle ground where we provide a fast, seamless, and also an affordable service for both us and the customer.
Yeah, well, you got to provide the value.
Yeah.
So I think now's a good time to beam in Hazel. So Hazel is from Workato. She's a longtime partner of ours in automation and also yours now. So and let's go ahead and bring on in Hazel. Hi, Hazel. How you doing?
Hi, Donald. Hey, Jim. I'm good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, sure. So I'll tell a little bit of the background. So we've been working with Workato for a number of years. So at One Pacific, we do cloud-based solutions for business. And we've been setting up and running an automation and analytics practice. And we wanted to find the right partners that could deliver the right value for our clients. Workato was great because it really had the most flexible solution in the market that we saw. It's got a lot of development expertise as well, and the product's always changing. But specifically, we like the flexibility of the product. There's a lot you could do with it, which for our clients, which tend to be high growth, like WobbleWorks, having that flexibility was really, really important. So they could grow with their expansion. And then also the Workato's got thousands of pre-built connectors. So getting things up and running is quite quick. It also allows our clients to experiment with connecting additional applications, additional workflows as well. So it really opens the door to a lot of opportunity. So we really dove headfirst into the Workato partnership.
At Workato, we really saw this as an opportunity to address the market, requirements. The traditional legacy approaches just really don't work these days, especially for high growth customers, large companies, enterprises. I think that's the challenge today. And a lot of this are done using a patchwork of different point-to-point solutions. They are usually limited to only two choices of solving these problems. I think for one, we do see that a lot of times customers do start off with scripting their own integration, kind of like what Jim was talking about. It's really complex. You require programmers and specialists to implement them. I think the best thing you would also see about Workato so far is that it's low code to no code. You don't need to have IT or programmers to work on this. And you can actually have your more agile business users to build the workflows very quickly and independently. For yourself, Jim, what was the tipping point for you that made you consider Workato as a solution for WobbleWorks?
We had a point-to-point direct to ERP solution from Shopify before. Internally, we call that like a static script. And that just doesn't cut it because Shopify as a platform develops much faster than we can develop our script. There's new functionality almost every month, especially when you're using Shopify Plus, the enterprise platform. And we found that when it comes to the order side, that there's a lot of things that our script just can't handle from all the various scenarios, whether it's orders, fulfillment, refunds, etc. I searched for quite a while, and I did go through some other solutions and spoke to them as well. And I came across this company called Workato. Once I floated that with Donald's team, they actually said, look, we've just entered into a partnership with Workato. Let's try and find a solution. And once we started looking at that, and we did come up with a really good first version of what a closed loop, in my opinion, a closed loop system would be, it was clear to me that Workato was our future.
I think we would really love to hear a little more about this closed loop solution you were talking about.
As most other organizations, we have a specific business process and a best fit that we would like to maintain. And our previous solution didn't fit that model at all. Transactions were posted at not just the wrong times, but seemingly random times as well. With Workato, we've managed to set that on a regular cadence. It takes orders in real time, but it doesn't validate them until they're filled, for example. That's something that we do because we want to maintain a thread when it comes to auditing time. In our recipe with Workato at the moment, we have validation at every step. So that's order placed, quantities, dollars, fulfillment times, and payments. That's both the disbursement from Shopify to ourselves, but also in terms of refunds, if they're coming back the other way. It's really all under one house now within Workato.
What have you seen as some of this bonus or added value through this whole implementation here?
Over the last 2.5 years of working with Donald's team, we've added on a lot of functionality within NetSuite. So obviously we want to leverage those added functionalities, and Shopify, like our website, like I said, it's a huge part of our business. We need that to be a part of that system. We have end-to-end planning now with the help of Donald's team, and having accurate data inputs coming through Workato into NetSuite helps with all of that. The data inputs are really, really important. We never had that in the past. Like I said, it was things posted at random times, couldn't really keep up with new functionality. So we did see a lot of discrepancies, which we no longer see. Also, the other thing is management of IT resources. We're a small company, 37 people at the moment, but we can't really maintain a full set of IT guys. The biggest added value for me is that we set this to be part of the regular cadence we have with One Pacific. If we have any further issues that we need to discuss with the Workato team, we have dedicated resources with Workato, which have always been up to the task and have been very quick to respond. So that is a huge bonus for us. Also, the ability to scale, like I said, the growth factor that we've seen with the website, it would have never been possible with our old solution. Growing hundreds of thousands of orders per year would just simply not be possible. It would be too much reconciliatory work for the finance team, and ultimately me, because I'm the one who has to answer all the questions. So that's completely gone away. Question for you guys, and actually primarily Donald, what opportunities do you see in e-commerce and other extended automation going forward?
I think some of it's because the pandemic and the way people are shifting what they do. We're seeing a lot of opportunities in e-commerce and automation in general. I mean, one of the things, and you guys touched on it, is it just reduces the workload, right? It's easier and faster to get stuff developed. You don't always have to be an IT specialist to get it done. Speed in general, it reduces the cycle time of business. We're working with other clients on using automation to make sure their inventory numbers are more accurate. So it reduces just a huge amount of workload in the background. We've seen a lot in marketing and business development as well, right? Because you can start to automate some of those regular communications with your clients, with your partners, with your supply chain. Those can happen in the background. They can happen overnight. And then what we're also seeing is you've got all this automation, you got all this data. I mean, Jim, you said you've got hundreds of thousands of transactions now. So there's a lot more information to process. So we're seeing people use automation tools like Workato to move that data around, put it in a data warehouse, do some analytics on it, use it for forecasting, use it for quality control. We're working with a number of clients on analytics as well, but based with Workato as the backbone, that moves everything around.
Working with e-commerce companies, they typically really move very fast, right? And a lot of times they are very open to starting small in terms of looking into automation ideas. So they don't actually fall into the trap that we see very often where people noodle too much on a problem and potential solutions. So I think coupled with really having the right technology like Workato, e-commerce businesses can then really quickly streamline their processes with automation and focus on their customers and delivering the best products and experiences to the market market. So this also helped them to be more productive and focus on some of these more strategic areas of the business.
So yeah, guys, this has been really interesting. I mean, thanks for taking the time to have a little discussion on e-commerce and automation. The pandemic accelerated this transition to e-commerce. We're looking forward to working with Workato and helping our clients do what what WobbleWorks is doing really, and use that as a model. So you guys, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.